Good afternoon, everybody. We are back. It is the right side of campus. We are live with the podcast here at 5 o'clock Eastern on a Wednesday. Hump Hoops coming up. Hope everyone had a great holiday season. Christmas was good to all of you, I hope. Whatever you celebrate, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, or Christmas, I hope you had a great holiday. And I look forward to attacking another card here in college basketball. It was a really nice start to the season, and I use Christmas as, for me, basically a kind of a halfway point in a way, because you have the non-conference season, then you have the conference college season, and most teams are getting going here with their conference season. Tonight you got some Big East starting, you got Mountain West. Big Ten has already started. So, we'll get into that here over the next week or two. And you really kind of head on to the second end of the season, and you really start to see a lot of things fall into place. And, judging by what we've seen already, there's a lot of things that have already fallen into place. So it's 58-35 on the season, up over 19 units, 19.4 units. I've kind of just been in this stage where, I have these like even weeks, which I got to be honest, guys. I know people are going to want winning weeks every week, but listen, I mean, when I can take a 3-3, 4-3, 3-4 or whatever, as long as I'm not losing big units, I'm fine. I'm happy with that. I mean, I'm a low volume guy, as many know. That's how you make money in this business, and just try to grind away to profit. So, but it would be nice to kind of get up and over to 22, 23 units, kind of move up towards 25 and 30. But, we'll open it up. We'll get going here, and got some nice futures that I'm involved with. Some of the ones that I bet really early in the season before the season started in Miami, Kansas, and Wichita. And then I have some of the bigger ones, Oklahoma, Arizona State. I also have Duke as well that I bet before anything. So I'm really feeling good with a lot of futures that I have. So welcome into everyone. Hope you are enjoying your if you're off this week or whatever, hope you're enjoying your time with whatever you're doing. Welcome into all you guys, Wiz, Blue, Bayou, Chris Carter, Next Level, all the guys on the chat. I welcome you in today. Retweet the show if you're out there. That'd be very nice of you. Hit the like button. Let me know if you enjoy the show and what you can do to what I can do to improve. Let's get into the card. Not a heavy card today, which is nice. Tomorrow will be a big one, so we'll have to approach that a little bit different. But let's get into the games tonight. I'll start out with my play of the day. And like, I don't really get this line, to be really frank with you. I don't understand why it is where it is. I don't think it's a close game. But again, let's break it down. I'm going to go with Xavier minus 2.5 against Marquette. It might be a sucker bet, might be a kind of a trap line, but I just don't really see much here that's going to prevent me from not liking not liking Xavier here. First of all, Xavier's playing with some revenge, which if you look at last year, they lost both matchups against the Marquette Golden Eagles here. It was a tough matchup for them. Marquette hit a ton of threes, which, look, if any team hits a ton of threes, they're going to be in a game. But in this game, all they really need to do is win by a small margin. Last year, they hit a ton of threes. That's, again, what's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to be what will happen this year. A massive advantage here for Xavier, really at every position. They're big, they're deep, and Marquette's a bit of a one-trick pony, I feel like, if you ask me. They have decent guard play. Rousey and Howard are really good, but Xavier has big guards that can guard them. I don't know if anyone can guard Xavier on the block. That's a concern for me in this game. Kareem Cantor's been a nice addition to this group, coming over from Green Bay. You still got Sean O'Mara. You still got Tyreek Jones. Off of two losses last year against Marquette, I'm just not seeing much to point here that would lead me to believe that Marquette will win this game or be in this game. If they're not making their jump shots, this is not going to be a close game at all. So for me, this is short and sweet for me. 52% for Xavier this year, 87 points a game. They have a major rebounding advantage as well in this matchup. You look at grabbing almost 40 a game. Marquette really has some issues down low. I mean, they're not a particularly strong or big team down low. I think they're going to struggle to rebound. The only way they stay in this game to me is if they're hitting those threes, which it is surely possible. I mean, Xavier's done a better job this year of defending the three, only allowing about 31.5%. But if they can get to the foul line, but I just think Xavier, with the start of the season, you're being off a little bit. They're healthy again. Everybody's back. You got, McCura back. You got Gates back. You got everybody back now. Now it's time to kind of roll here. And I think Xavier's a really good basketball team. I think they're going to start out the season with a nice, solid victory here. Get the job done. I got to be honest. I think this is a pretty easy win for Xavier here. Let's see here. Yeah, exactly. I hear you. What's up, Russell? What's up, Talat? Everybody, Shad Costanza, what's up? What's up, Lucky? How you doing, buddy? Do you do teasers? No, I don't. I don't do teasers at all. Teasers are like your first beer. When you first start betting, everybody loves teasers. You can't get drunk too fast. You can't lose your money too fast. They look good. I mean, how's the team going to lose getting 6 points? They're a waste of money. They're sucker bets. You'll lose long term with them. Exactly, alert Eddie. Great point. Yeah, and even you look at the Rooktas. He's a Marquette fan. He's even agreeing with the pick here. I just don't know that I get the line. It's kind of a shady deal here. But I'm going to take the bait. I'm going to look it and lay it with Xavier here. Xavier is one of those teams that, I mean, they're a team you look at and you got to look long term and say, wow, this team's going to be pretty good. I don't think they're Villanova, but they're very good. They shoot wood from the field. They're a good rebounding team. They're big. They're athletic. They're well coached. They make their foul shots. They're good from three. They don't turn the ball over a whole hell of a lot. Lot to like about them. Plus, you look at their numbers. They're 10-3 against the spread this year, guys. 9-3 is a favorite. So they're covering numbers. They're getting the job done. Marquette's just a middling team. Give me Xavier here. -2.5. It's going to be my play of the day. Let's go through the. Why would I lay the money line on Xavier? Why would I do that? What sense does that make? I have no interest in that. I have no interest in laying a 160 money line here. I'm very confident in the 2.5 or 3. Again, I've made the point at 2 or less, I'll lay the money line. But again, a lot of that has to do with the game itself. I don't know that it's going to matter too much here. So no, I have zero interest in laying a money line. If I lose by 2, if it's 79-77, well, then I'll just take a loss. Let's go down the card here. 6:30. This one's getting started in about an hour and a half. Butler and Georgetown. I don't really know what to expect out of Georgetown because of their poor scheduling so far this year. On paper, they're one of those teams that I think the lay fan will look at and say, wow, Georgetown is really rolling this year. They've had a great season so far. Yeah, pull back the onion a little bit. I mean, they played no one. The only team of note they played against, Syracuse, they lost. The schedule was incredibly weak. And now you have to, host a Butler team here that's pretty good. But they're still a team that's, I think, under, they're interesting, but I think they're still a team that the jury's still out on them. They're not a big team. They're not a team that is going to pound down low. They have good guard play. That's a concern, though, against Georgetown. Georgetown's a big group. Ewing's brought in some big kids. I don't have much in this game. It's kind of a pass just because both these teams, to me, are a little unknown. Until we see something from Georgetown, I can't make a decision on where I go with them. Eastern Michigan, Syracuse. I've made it and been on record as saying I think the Syracuse team defensively is probably the best Jim Boeheim's seen in some time up in that area. They're really good. They're really long. They're really athletic. And you got to be able to shoot up and over them. That's not one of Eastern Michigan's strengths. They're a decent offensive club, but they're not a great jump shooting team. And that's a problem against Syracuse. But do you want to lay points with them? That's the big question. There's a lot of points to lay. They crushed Eastern Michigan last year, 105-57. The game was never in doubt. It was 52-24 at half, and that was to a Syracuse team last year that probably isn't as good as this one. So, they've taken care of Eastern Michigan. And when these teams kind of step up, you got to go to the Carrier Dome right after the holidays in a game that means absolutely nothing to your schedule. Um, I'm not looking to bet Eastern Michigan here. Last year worries me. Villanova, DePaul. I'm not looking to step in front of Villanova, as I said. I mean, I'm not crazy about that. I think DePaul's improved. Yeah, they play great defense. They've done a nice job. Eli Kane's a great player, but and look, they're going to be excited for this game. They got a new stadium out in Rosemont. It's going to be a nice atmosphere. You get big bad Villanova, but if you remember last year, DePaul in the first game of the season in the Big East season, DePaul took Villanova to the woodshed in the pavilion last year. I remember that game because I remember doing a video with Peter Loshak and Mike Brenner, of all people, last year. I did the odds couple with them, and I remember talking about this game. I think all of us like Villanova. We thought, well, it's fucking DePaul. Who cares? This DePaul team's improved. I mean, can they hang around here, though? I'm not willing to put my money on it. I mean, Villanova doesn't miss. They don't they don't do anything bad. You know, what is there to not like about Villanova? But it's a road game right after Christmas in a stadium where teams improve significantly. A gun to my head, I take Villanova, but I don't really have any interest in betting this game. Where are we going here? Georgetown's, their schedules are pathetic. Listen, there's a new rule on the show. All right, there's a new rule going forward. If someone comes into the show and asks me about a specific game after I discuss that I'm covering every game, I'm not covering that game. We have to start as a whole, guys. This is a big problem in society. People not listening. People just sitting here, trying to think of, other things, and then they, greedily, hey, what about me over here? What about my game? Listen. Put the phone down and listen. That's what we're doing here. We're listening. We have to improve as people. I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to improve all of you. I know you don't want to listen to your wife. I know you don't want to listen to your kids or whatever. But sometimes you got to put the phone down, clean the stuff out of your ears, and listen. We know the rules here on the show. I will get to every game on this card. Another thing, asking me what I have in NBA. By now, you would think you'd all understand how I bet the NBA. I don't give a flying fuck about the teams. Half the time, I don't even look at the teams. I go right to the consensus page. I see where the money's going, who's betting it, and then I pick the team. Last night, I just put Maverick. I didn't even know who was playing. I couldn't care less if any player's out. I don't care about people being out. I don't care about the spot. I don't care about scenarios. I don't care about anything. In the NBA, all I care about is the number. And at 6:30, that's where the number's going to come. Before then, that's why I would never do a show on SPR for an NBA, because I'm not going to offer anything. Do I know the players? Sure I do. Do I know the team? Sure I do. Do I know everything about the NBA? Sure I do. But it doesn't matter. That is ridiculously moronic to try to follow. That means nothing in the grand scheme of things in the NBA. Nothing. It's all about the number. That's all it's about. I love you, Big N. Thanks. I love you too. Thanks, Chris Carter. Appreciate it. Yes, it's all about listening, boys. That's what it's about. I'm going to make you all better people. At least I'm going to try, especially myself. I'm going to try to make me a better person as well. It's a new year, boys. It's time to make ourselves all better. So again, the rule's the rule. If you come in and ask about a game, sorry, not going to happen. Let's get back to the breakdowns here. Florida Gulf Coast and Rhode Island, a game that was close for me. I considered this as my play of the day. This is about, as far as lean-wise, out of every game, this is about as close to a play for me as I would have. It isn't a play for one reason. I don't trust Florida Gulf Coast defensively. I've noticed over the last several games, they're not very good defensive, which many of us already know. They're a team that can get jumped on pretty quickly, as you saw in the Wichita game. The game was closed the whole way. Wichita went on a 4 or 5 minute run, got it up to a 10-point game. But it was an impressive play by Florida Gulf Coast because Gulf Coast had been struggling. They had lost to FIU. They had lost to some teams, and you kind of thought, well, all right, it's Florida Gulf Coast. See you later. But they came in, played Wichita really tough on that Friday night before the holiday, and now you get another tough game here. This is a big-time game for FGCU, especially after laying an egg in a lot of their big-time games this year. Could you imagine if they went into Rhode Island and beat this team? I don't think they will. But you look at their schedule so far. Very tough. Very tough. Middle Tennessee, twice. Texas Arlington, who they beat. Rhode Island, Wichita State, Illinois State. I mean, it's a tough schedule here. I mean, the problem they have is they're not very good defensively, but beating Texas Arlington in Texas Arlington, that's a big win. Do I think they can win this game? No. But I definitely think FGCU can hang around. I think this is a little too many points. If this was 9 or 10, I don't think I'd be as interested. But at 13, this kind of reminds me a little bit of the Texas-Arlington-Alabama game a little bit. I like Rhode Island a lot. I love E.C. Matthews, him being back. I saw Fats Russell play in high school at Imhotep in Philadelphia, Darren Russell. Great player, great young player, very quick. And I love Hurley. He's another Hurley brother. Good basketball team. I'm very high on them in the A-10 going forward. But this is a tough one. This is a tough game. You got a team in FGCU that can score the basketball. Good shooting team. Well coached. Dooley does a great job there. It's a lot of points. Like I said, if it was 9, 10, 11, maybe I wouldn't be as interested. And FGCU covers. I mean, that's what they cover. They do. They're not lined often. But you look at their last 17 in line games, 13-4 to the number. They get there. They have a rebounding advantage, a big rebounding advantage. If they can capitalize on some rebounds tonight, get to the foul line, and they're going to get to the foul line. Rhode Island fouls a lot. Rhode Island fouls 22 times a game. If they can get to the foul line, they'll cover this game. They're good enough offensively. The question is, can they try to keep this game under 80 apiece? I don't think it's possible for them, but if they could somehow do that, they'll cover because they're good enough offensively. I think this is like a 79-71 type of game. It'll be close for about 33 minutes, and then like Wichita, they'll pull away. But they do some little things. They're going to have some rebounding advantages here. They can score. They get to the foul line. Should be a fun game. It'll be a great game to watch. This is where you make money, guys, right here. Game like this. Again, you want to know how to, how I, do this kind of thing? Sit here and watch this game tonight. This is a huge game long term. Down the road, teams like this, Florida Gulf Coast, Rhode Island, both these teams are going to be right there in March. Make sure you know about these teams. Huge game. I would watch it if I were you. Yes, you are the only one, Little E. Can you tell us about SMU Xavier? Well, can you shut up, Jeremy? I mean, are you not listening? Now it's just going to be people being shitheads. That's what it's going to be. Great conversation with Gabe last night. Good. Glad you enjoyed it, man. But let's move on. Little E, I think you're the only one. I believe that's him. Yeah, well, you're obviously a fucking troll. See you later. That's what happens here. Talk stupid, you get blocked. This is a professional chat. I'm not going to have people in here being stupid. It's my chat. See you later. Arkansas, Cal Bakersfield. Cal Bakersfield's a team that's going to struggle this year. Ron Barnes' group. This is not one of his better groups. Lost a lot last year graduation. Now you got to go on the road and take on Arkansas, who's just scoring at will right now. Listen, Rhode will do a great job of trying to defend them, but I just don't have any reason to think they can score and stay in this game. They're only scoring about 67 a game, and that's with their schedule. They have trouble shooting the basketball. Arkansas should have no reason they don't win big in this game. But it's a lot of points. A lot of points to lay. 23-24. Pass for me. Mm-mm-mm. If you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Exactly. Um, Xavier Marquette, that's the play of the day. We went over already. Xavier -2.5. San Diego State, Wyoming. An interesting travel schedule always to go to Wyoming for many teams, and I've explained that before. One of the places you don't want to have to travel to in your first time is Laramie. It's a tough place to play. It's very high. The elevation's brutal. The travel conditions usually suck. Sometimes weather's a major problem. But San Diego State's a team that's used to it. They go there every year. Most of these guys on San Diego State are conditioned to it. Trey Kell, Hemsley, Malik Pope. They have Max Montana. All those guys have been to San Diego State before, to Wyoming, but some of their guys haven't. Mitchell, Cameron Rooks, Devin Watson. It'll be interesting to see, but I haven't been impressed with Wyoming lately. And San Diego State is starting to play defense like we know they can. And if they can play defense like that, like they did against Gonzaga, they're going to be a very tough team to beat because now they can score. Now they can put the ball in the hoop. You know, they're a team that can go up and down the field or up and down the court. I mean, so if you can play half court defense like that and get out and score like they can, Kel's back, everybody's back. They're going to be a tough team to beat. And games like this are important. They're off that big win against Gonzaga. They had the Christmas holiday. Now you got to go on the road and keep taking care of business here. I like San Diego State. I picked them to be right up there in the Mountain West. They're a team that's going to surprise this year to me. I think they're going to get back to the tournament. They need to keep winning games. They'll take their first step tonight and get the job done, I believe, against Wyoming. Well, then don't bet it, Kevin. I mean, what do you want me to say, Kevin? I mean, you come into the chat and you tell me that they're a square killer. So what does that mean? What are you calling all of us squares? You're trying to be the smarter than everybody else? So bet the other side then, Kevin. I mean, it's kind of rude to come into the chat and call all of us squares because you think and that's why in the breakdown, if you listened, you would have heard me mention, I agree, the line is kind of funny, but you shouldn't come in here and vilify all of us because we're on Xavier. Like I said, if it's 79-77, I lose. What are you going to do? But I like the number. I like the spot. I like the team tonight. You know, make your case. Make your case, Kevin. Let's hear it. Tell me why you like Marquette, or why tell me what your thought process is. Or are you just throwing that out to throw it out? I'm not being rude. I'm asking. I'm curious to know what your opinion is here. Let us know. We'll wait for it. We'll move on here as we wait for Kevin's opinion because we're all waiting to hear it. USF SMU, and I mean that. I want to hear your opinion here. USF SMU. This was another one that was close for me. I've really considered SMU in this spot. I love this group at home. I think they're absolutely fantastic. Jamal McMurray back is a huge piece for this team. And you look at the other side. I mean, if Taco Fall wasn't on UCF, you got to wonder if they would average 55 points a game. I mean, they can't score. I mean, the only reason they have a semi decent field goal percentage is because Fall shoots 57% or 77% from the field. They can't make threes. They miss their foul shots constantly. They're not good offensively on the road. SMU is nasty at home. They're a nasty basketball team. Jamal McMurray's eligible. They don't turn the ball over. They don't foul a ton. I like SMU a lot. They're a team that I'm really high on going forward. They're 43-1 over their last 44 at home. That's impressive. That is a home advantage there. Moody's a tough place to play. And without BJ Taylor, it's not going to get any easier for UCF, unfortunately. Johnny Dawkins has had a real trouble with this team. You lose your son, Aubrey, who's supposed to be a scoring punch. You lose BJ Taylor. That's about 25, 30 points a game you lose, if not more. Plus, he's a point guard, so how many assists he loses. Without BJ Taylor, UCF, the proof's in the numbers. They're just not very good. So yeah, I would lay it with SMU here. Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting here, Kevin. I know you're out there. I mean, let us know your opinion, man. I mean, you come in and say that. Let's hear why. Yeah, you're gonna have to go back, man. Sorry. I often wonder also with some of the listeners, it's 5:25. What did you think we were doing for the last 20 minutes? Dennis, you might have to you're gonna have to listen back. I'm not gonna I gotta go through all the games. Can't go back here. Do you like any totals? No, not really. Not particularly. Uh, you might have a decent total with the Xavier Marquette game. I could definitely see that one being pretty high scoring. Both those teams are fantastic from the line. They shoot the three ball at a pretty high level, but it's a high total. You're going to need 80 apiece. You're going to need a team to touch 90. Can Xavier do it? Yeah. I'm not betting the under in a game, but I don't have a clear total that I'm really loving. Um, all right, let's keep it going here. So yeah, SMU would be a definite like as well. They'll be my two leans for the show. SMU and FGCU. Air Force New Mexico, no real opinion. New Mexico's starting to play a lot better. They're at home. Air Force stinks. Wisconsin, Chicago State. The Badgers are starting to realize that life moves on after some of their guys. You lose some of those Demeric Trice and Kobe King. Now you got to move on and face the music. Had a nice performance the other night against Wisconsin Green Bay. Green Bay played terribly. That's the second time I backed one of those big underdogs. They look real good, and they got blown out of the gym. Wisconsin is shouldn't have any trouble here. I mean, I don't see any reason they don't put up 85 points in this game. Do I think that Chicago State could score 55? No. Chicago State might be the worst team in the country, and that's the truth. I mean, on the road this year, they're shooting 37.5%. In 11 road games, they're giving up 90 points a game and only making 59, only scoring 59 points. I mean, I don't really see a value in laying this kind of number with Wisconsin, but they should cover. I don't see any reason they don't. Last year they only won by 18 last year, so you could take that and say I'm sure Greg Gard will really experiment a little bit in this game. I do want to see who Wisconsin has on deck here. Do they have another Patsy and then they start their season back conference play? Because that'd be interesting here. Yeah, they have another Patsy on Saturday, so they're not going to rest anyone, I wouldn't imagine here. Um, yeah, Wisconsin shouldn't have any trouble. I would think they'd win like 95-55 or something like that. I can't imagine Chicago State will do anything here. Um, I don't know where he went. He's not here. He left. Again, I'm not calling the guy out. I'm just asking him to give his opinion. This is an interactive show. Like Donnie Wrightson says, build the case. Build it. Many of you know this is interactive. I include everybody in here. I was up 3-0. Good for them. Can you provide any insight on how you bet the number in NBA? Maybe at the end. Remind me at the end. Do you ever buy the hook? No. No, because I can try to go find with the amount of books that I have, I can go find the hook. I can go, if you have 4 or 5 books plus some locals, you can go and find the number you want. So yeah, normally I'll just go find the number. George Young, what's up, my man? He likes over 139.5 in Boise State. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Colorado State should be able to score some points as well. Nevada, Fresno, interesting game here. Fresno is better than people think. It's a tough road game for the Wolfpack. Seems like they've been at home for a while. But again, this is like Xavier. I'm not really looking to step in front of Nevada. Just not. I like Fresno. That Save Mart Center is a tough place to play, but Nevada's off that loss to San Francisco over the weekend. You know, I think that's why I'd like Nevada here. They're off a loss. If they had been on that win streak where they just weren't losing, um, you know, but it seems like when Nevada steps up and has tough games, they're not able to finish them. You look at Texas Tech, lose that one, lose the TCU game. I mean, is Nevada that legitimate, really? I mean, who have they really beaten? What's your best win here? I guess Davidson, Rhode Island, second game of the season. And that game was close most of the time. It's the Mountain West. And Fresno's waiting. They're sitting there just waiting for this one. Fresno's losses this year, Oregon, Arkansas, and Evansville. Evansville's a bad loss. Two good teams here. But off a loss, it's hard to not take Nevada. Bovada banned me from live betting. Well, it's time to get a new book then. Nevada hasn't beaten, Fresno hasn't beaten anyone. Yeah, but I'm not saying, I don't think anyone's ever made the case that Fresno should be some amazing team. All I hear is how good Nevada is. I don't know. You know, I think one thing that about the show that I find interesting is, you know, as many of you guys know, I'm pretty abrasive. You know, I don't mind getting into it with people. I don't mind questioning someone. You know, I think that's what we do. I think you have to be willing to interject on someone. If you see something and you don't understand or agree, I think it's important to have them try to educate you or you educate them. I think I'm doing a disservice if I just come on here and say, "Yep, I agree with everything you guys say." Everything. Even though I know the sky's blue and you tell me it's red, I believe you. I'm not going to do that. And I think some people, and I'll admit, like when I'm challenged, a lot of the time, I always think I'm right with everything. So yeah, I do have some pushback, but that's me just fighting. I've seen people on these chats that, you know, I'll call them out. Like there's a guy, Maxwell Green. I saw him talking shit to me on the internet, telling SBR that I'm a fat load of shit and I'm extremely unprofessional. I mean, this is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to come on here and try to give you the best of my information. You might not agree with it, and I might not agree with you, but I'm just trying to help you. Remember, I'm doing all this for free. This show that I do right here, I don't get anything out of it other than helping people. You know, so for him to do that I thought was a little rude. And Kevin White, I hope he doesn't go in other chats and start talking about me. A big man, he's such an abrasive dickhead. You know, it's an open forum, guys. I mean, we're here to talk about the sports. If you don't agree with my pick, let me know. I don't know if he's still in here. I'm going to check and see if he's still in here. Kevin, you're still in here. Kevin, where are you at? I see you're in here. I can see your name. Yeah, don't tell me what to do, Estevan. For sure. There's no need for you to tell me what to do. I already went over that game. You can listen back to the show if you want to hear about it. What's up, Matt? Nicholas, what's up? Andrew, what's up? Big man, how do you do NBA? Can you explain what you mean by looking at the numbers? I'll tell you what. I'll make a video separately, and I'll go over what I do and look for. Because this question's posed a lot. You know, how do you do this? How do you do it? What's it all about? So I'll make a video about that for sure. Ian Cameron will join us after the new year. He'll be on a little bit more frequently. We'll get him on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe. And Greg Peterson will join us again as well at some point. You know, I actually quickly, Russell, want to comment on your point there. Eastern Michigan's coach is an old assistant to Syracuse. It didn't matter much last year. I mean, it was a complete blowout from start to finish. There he is. Kevin's back. No worries. It's just a gut feeling. The number stinks to high heaven is going the wrong direction. So that is why I believe it fits the potential. Yeah, but Kevin, here's the point that we have to make. Let's do something right now. I want to take a look here. Give me a minute here. And I've actually mentioned in the past, I don't give a flying fuck about public action or sharp action in college basketball. It's not as pronounced. It's 60-40. That's not as pronounced. It's not like 90% of the money's on Xavier and the line's going the other way. The line has either went up or stayed the same. It's not pronounced. So, for instance, here's a good example. Here's an example of what Kevin's talking about. Colorado State, Boise State. 83% of the side action is on Colorado State and 92% of the money. So that means everyone's betting Colorado State. The Boise line went down. So that makes sense. You have it makes sense. It's correlated the right way. If you had a team that was 80% of the side and 90% of the money and the line went the other way, that would smell. But I don't see it pronounced. I don't think it's as pronounced as you're leading on. But again, I hear what you're saying. So there you go. Very good work by Kevin White. Kevin White, it was questioned. He came with his front, and we'll see. Does the line look a little small? Yes. But we'll see. So good work, Kevin White. Glad to hear you come back with your opinion. Worrying about line movement is just another psyop. Trust your numbers or gut or however you pick your plays. Good point, especially in college. Because there's just not a lot of people that know a ton about college basketball. There just isn't. It's very tough, guys, to find really good voices on college basketball because there's so many guys that love football more. They're interested in football. They're trying to juggle everything, and they just don't put in the same amount of time. There's a lot of good basketball cappers. Greg's a prime example. A friend of mine, Jay Cryer on Twitter, guys like him. But there's just not a lot of pronounced people in college basketball that know a ton. You really have to make sure, and that's why for me, I don't really think there's a ton of like the sharp stuff doesn't mean much to me in college basketball because I don't think there's a ton of guys that are really that smart with it. Big man, would you take Nevada over Fresno? I'm not answering that. I just went over it, man. No, yes. I mean, off a loss, yeah, I'd consider it. Right, right, Master. And again, Master, I mean, it's not like when I see, on a Saturday afternoon, you see Kentucky and Kansas. There's going to be a big public money on that bet. A lot of action, once football's over. But right now, I don't think it means too much. Exactly, Lord Eddie. That's what I was saying. I mean, Marquette hit a ton of threes in those games last year. They're really lucky to be, to be in those games and win those games. I don't think. Look, if any team hits 25 threes in 2 games, they're probably going to win. No, I don't have an opinion on San Jose State, man. That's one I'm not in on. Let me take a look at the NBA card and see where we're hitting for right now. See if there's anything on the totem pole tonight. All right. I got some interest in some of these plays for sure. Yeah, buddy. I got a real good one coming up here, boys. 7 o'clock Eastern. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I love it. It's just great. It's so great, NBA. Betting the numbers, so great. It's like I just put a fucking thing up, right? I don't even look at the team. I just go on my thing, look at the numbers, then I say, "Oh, there it is." All right, I guess we're betting on them tonight. All right, I got 2 I'm writing down here. We'll see where they go. I'm not going to tell them at this point. Let me look here. All right, that one's off. That one's off. Yeah, there's really 2 pronounced ones right away. So yeah, there's going to be plays for sure tonight. Can't wait. Cannot wait, boys. Cannot fucking wait. Da, 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 da. All right. So that'll be it. Tonight, play is Xavier minus 2.5. Really like that play. Lord Eddie says fade the Raptors. Good luck. Good luck. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it, man. You're funny. So are you, Andrew. Another fade the public playing NBA question mark. We went over that already. Lakers, baby, says Little E. Lakers. Yeah, they look good tonight, but everyone loves the Lakers tonight. So yeah. Memphis is bad though. Memphis is playing poor. They're like 3-20 over the last 23 games. Not good. I go on Twitter to get your NBA pick. Good, good, good. Raptors probably win outright tonight. Yeah, I'll say it right now. I have no opinion on the Raptor game. You got a couple teams in back-to-backs tonight, notably Denver. Who else? The Jazz, Dallas, and a couple others. Toronto, a couple back-to-backs tonight. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll get a player or two out on Twitter about an hour or so. And yeah, it sure is fucking cold out, man. Brutal, brutal stuff. Cold weather, man. Especially this cold. It's like windy cold. Not good. But yeah, guys, I'll stay on for about 5 more minutes. Any questions you have, preferably about other things. I think we went over everything basketball. But as always, I'd like to stay on and you can bend my brain about anything here. Um, Interesting show tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 10 o'clock Eastern. Got a lot to talk about. We have couple of cold hard facts from Donnie Rightside. I'll get him involved with a 5-pack of questions in the NFL. Definitely something you want to stick around for. Got some good questions coming up for the NFL guy, Donnie Rightside. By the way, guys, do want to update you on something that I'm pretty excited about. As many of you know, I'm in the Twitter Super Contest, which is a great contest every year. It's for handicappers that most of which have been around for many years. A lot of friends of mine in the business. It's run by my good friend Ernie. And there's 118 people, NFL contest, just like the Vegas Super Contest. 120 people. You pick 5 games a week, only spreads. And tonight, obviously, the last week is this week, and I'm in 7th after everything, after all the smoke cleared. 47-31 on the season, so I'm feeling pretty good. I got 96 points. It's just a shame it wasn't the real Super Contest because I'd probably be doing pretty well. So I'm excited. I'm in 07, not 09, 07. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Need to have a good week here. If I can have a good week here, you never know. I'm at 96 points. The leader has 103. I'm trying to get top 5, but I'm in the money right now. So I would just like to stay in the money. If I get up into the top 5, then I'll be happy. But first place is like 6K, I think. So it's a fun thing. I'm glad to be in it. I'll be in it every year. It's fun. So I had a nice time with it. So I'll be looking forward to that, trying to cash in that tournament. I'm in my fantasy championship as well. Need a bounce back this week in the second leg. And yeah, I'm excited. Also tomorrow we'll talk Eli Apple. Got a lot to talk about there. A lot of stuff. I'm in New Hampshire. Can't even breathe outside. Yeah, it's cold, man. Very cold. What's the best gift you got for Christmas? Um, Good question. I would probably say, I got a lot of stuff that I needed. With me and my family, like we pretty much are pretty lucky. We have everything we really need. I got an end table which I needed. Just some, I got some new gold which I needed. Some clothes, a lot of Jordan stuff, some track suits, that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, I mean, my parents are, they still to this day get me a ton of stuff. So, I appreciate them even thinking of me. So, what's a good play for the Foster Farms Bowl? Well, which one is Foster Farm? Was it Missouri, Texas? Which one's the Foster Farms? I don't even know what the bowl games are. I went over them today, but I don't know them by name. The other games I like over in Missouri, Texas, and I like Arizona. Those are the other two plays I like. It's cold here in Louisiana. Yeah, well, there you go. Any ideas on Pittsburgh's strategy against the Browns? There is no strategy. There is absolutely none. Why would I hedge? I mean, why would I throw money away? They're not going to lose. They're 14-point favorites. There is no strategy. I'm not hedging. I have no interest in hedging. I don't know how I'd even hedge. And if anyone wants to know what I'm talking about, I have a future right now, plus 1150 on will there be a team that doesn't win a game this year in the NFL? I got one more game, obviously the Browns. I'm not hedging. No way. No shot. No shot. It's -4 to -12 every night in New Hampshire. Wow. That's brutal, man. Stay warm, man. Exactly, Andrew. Isn't hedging a garden thing? I don't say I don't hedge ever, but in this spot, I'm definitely not hedging. Not going to happen. So, yeah, tomorrow, busy day for me. I have right side of campus at 10 o'clock. I got Premier League punters tomorrow as well. We'll look at the Saturday slate on the Premier schedule. And I got to keep it going, man. I'm up 23 units on the year in Premier League. Going to keep it going tomorrow. So, yeah, tune in for that. Everyone else, have a great night. For me tonight, it's Xavier -2.5. I got a new smart grill. It's an indoor smokeless grill. I know you eat a lot of chicken. That's great. Sounds awesome. I'm late, but instead of asking what we covered, I'm going to start the video over. Sounds good, Steven. I'm signing off. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here for a Thursday card. A lot to do tomorrow. Tune in, SBR, 10 o'clock Eastern. Have a great night. Bye-bye.